Oh.
Excuse me.
They don't
Trying to
drink
put
water.
this meeting out.
No, man.
I actually gave you some pills, but
We really need
it's
some
gonna be up and up.
When we had our first year night development meeting, they brought everybody water to tablet. And now we sit back in the other room, you bring your own tablet and buy your own water.
Are we ready?
Yes.
You want to switch on?
Oh, that would help, wouldn't it? There we go.
It is March 6th. I'm calling this meeting of Planning and Zoning Committee to order. It is 6:33. We have a quorum. Present tonight are Philip Vikemond, Teddy Harley, Ray Lambert, Jim Lawhorn, and Cindy Nichols.
And Chris.
Oh, Chris, I'm sorry, Chris.
I couldn't see
You
you.
didn't know you were invisible, did you?
I'm sorry, I can't
Let's
type.
try that. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Do we have any citizen comments? No. Okay, let's move on to approving the minutes of February. I think Cindy sent it all out by email, so it should be fairly quick.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of February 6th.
I'll say it.
We did that so it's easier for you.
Appreciate it.
Motion by Teddy, Holly. Excuse me. Seconded by Ray Lambert. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. What was it? 4, 5, 6, 5. On council. First one's presentation of the concept plans for the new Richardson Chevrolet dealership.
Ready?
Hello, I'm Bob Price. I'm president of Richardson Brothers Chevrolet Polaris here in Floresville. My brother-in-law, Steve Richardson, and then Johnny Regnato, that all know him. I don't know if you're familiar with Richardson Brothers, but they were established in 1970, and they've been a part of this community for a long time, and they participate in, member of the community, participate in many of the charitable events, just to give you an idea of what the business has done. Anyway, it has become necessary to move from our current location to another location, which is just outside the city limits, about a half mile past where Walmart is now, where the light is. And we have approached, we met with Cindy and Andy, and we're talking about getting annexed, I guess you call it voluntary annexation. For several reasons. One reason is it'd be nice to get the police to be able to go out there, emergency services. And then on top of that, we don't have sewer, we don't have any of the city services, and it would be very beneficial to the business to get that. Let me just pass out what the building is going to look like. It's gonna be a tremendous improvement on what we have now. Obviously, the building is very old and
Cramped.
a little cramped and pretty poor condition. I mean, so much so that it's very difficult to even hire people to go to work there. I mean, I've had people that I wanted to, did an interview in Pleasant with them, then they meet me over here, then they don't want to go to work here. I mean, it's that bad, you know?
That's a fact.
You know, it's,
Well, I hope it isn't because it's forced.
no, it's just because, you know, the condition of the facility. I mean, it's in pretty rough shape. This should make it a lot easier to attract people to Floresville and to work at Richardson Chevrolet. To give you an idea of our growth in the last couple of years, in 2009, whenever I first came here, we had 11 employees. Today we have 24, and once we open this facility, I would expect to be 30 to 35 employees. The idea behind this is that we'll be drawing business from the San Antonio market, because it's really not very far from San Antonio. A lot of people don't realize it, but it's pretty close. And that's going to benefit the community just in the taxes paid, the inventory tax. Right now, where it's $4,000 a month, it should go up from there. That inventory tax gets paid into the county coffers. The other thing that is a benefit to the community is the people that work at the store should expect to have an average income of about $6,000 a month. If it does anything like what I do in Pleasanton, which it should do better because of the new facility closer to San Antonio, the average employee at that store over there makes $72,400. That includes the guys that wash the car and the secretaries and everybody. So it'll definitely a benefit. Yeah, well, they're not quite making that themselves. It's average.
Oh,
It's
okay.
average. Okay. I think it'll be
Plus, you'll be the first dealership coming in.
right. Absolutely. This next diagram that I have is the layout of the dealership.
Thank you.
And where it's going to sit in the land. We're going to build two facilities. One, that first one, Garden, when they're a Chevrolet store, and it's going to be approximately 21,000 square feet. The second facility is going to be a new Polaris facility. It's going to be nothing like that shed that's over there. It's going to be an air-conditioned facility. It's probably going to be about 12,000 square feet. The tax dollars on that should be, I hate to say it, a pretty big number. Currently, we pay in about $8,700 a month, a year to the city taxes. And we'll be moving outside the city, but if we get annexed, of course, I would expect you to get much more than that. The other thing to consider there is we are leaving another pad site on the north side, and then let me pass this over sheet out to you guys. And then we still have about, I think, 25 acres that is undeveloped. That we plan to develop.
Expand on that plan to develop a little bit,
Well,
without giving some of these trade secrets away.
I can't say a whole lot. I don't have any solid plans for the development. I have been approached by another auto manufacturer, and they're interested in being south of San Antonio, but on the outskirts. This is closer than Pleasanton. I don't know if they want to be in Pleasanton. I don't know if they want to be in Floresville. I don't know if they want to be somewhere else. But it is a potential, it's a possible business. And if that were to come, there'd be another, 25 employees there, I would think.
Excellent.
Does it include this area here?
This is, yes, this is part of what we own and the school district owns that.
Oh, no.
Which one is the school? Bill?
The
The 10th
The
one.
10th.
Ten.
Okay.
And 1 corner. You'll actually have 2 different parcels available for future development on the north as well as the south.
Right. Now, the thing that has changed since I met with Cindy and Andy is that I found out that TxDOT wants a street right there where the median is, where the
Mhm.
crossover, they want a street to go this direction if they're gonna let us get a curb cut.
Okay. So
So
they
that-
want you to put a street over here?
Right.
Okay.
So that kind of messes things up.
To what point do they want the street?
They want to start right here, and I don't know how far
Okay.
back.
That's something to see.
They would want it to go all the way to Highway 181 business.
Oh, they want like a bypass through there?
They want
Well, that's what, this is what my civil's telling me. I don't
Oh.
know what the, I don't know
Next
what
time
the,
they take you to build a street on private property.
well,
to, yeah.
the only way they
Tell
can do
them to go ahead
that
and
is,
build it.
Yeah.
the only way they can do that, apparently, is they won't give me a curb cut.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like held hostage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
without a curb cut, I'm kind of, you know, in a bind. So the other end of that situation is, what can we do to get city help with putting a street?
I mean, Polaris is, you know.
The city gets Polaris's. How many's it take?
Have you been to any city budget meetings like that?
I've read all about them.
I know that with McCoy's, the city stepped up and helped build that road in there, right?
Was that city or FEDC?
I'm not exactly sure what the agreement says, but I don't know if you want to,
The city's doing the street, the EDC's doing the sewer line. And
yes.
McCoy's bought the land, and we're doing probably about half of all the construction, so we're getting the
Yes, there you
subgrade,
go.
we're doing all the grading, and then the city has to come in and put in the, you know, the compacted limestone,
Yes.
and then the asphalt, so it's a joint
It's kind of a
project.
joint thing, yeah, we're working
Yeah.
together on that.
It's kind of hard to say if you don't know how much street they want and are demanding.
Right, that's true.
They're probably
One
done.
good thing, there isn't a curb, so.
And then I know also with the Walmart, wasn't it in a joint venture with the county also?
Yes.
As
That
far as
street going,
The street that's by the Walmart.
well, it was already
Well,
there.
Walmart did up to a certain point, and then the county,
It was a county road.
it's a county
That was
road.
already.
But the city, what we did is we did the work. The county gave us the materials and we did the work. That's how that worked. So it's all kind of a joint thing too.
But there's no existing roads.
No.
So I guess TxDOT's gonna be asking you for studies on that, if that's gonna go that way too.
Probably so, yes. And I don't know where I'm at yet on that, I just
But
signed a
they're saying that
contract.
right
Yeah.
now.
Isn't part of this flood
None of it's flood, yes, it is low.
or
Been there.
wetlands or something like that?
My understanding is not wetlands, it's not in the FEMA
Mm-mm.
100-year zone. It can be, fill can be brought in. It goes like this and goes back up.
Mhm.
The thing that we're gonna do, that, I don't know how far you wanna annex, is we are bringing water from the other side of 181, and I believe it's gonna be a 6-inch or 8-inch line. So you can have the ability to have fire hydrants and development in the future.
But that'd be Oak Hills, correct?
Yes, it is, but that helps.
Mhm.
And that's $50,000.
Do you have any idea how many feet of sewer you're needing to get from point A to B?
I don't know, there to there, you say point eight,
From the existing sewer line where it stops at Walmart, where you need it to be,
Half a mile.
that's half a mile right there,
to your curb cut.
yeah.
to move everything north?
I'm gonna have to, well, without a curb cut, I'm gonna have to move it, yeah, up north. Because they say I can't.
No, I mean, to put a street in, they're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
want it,
Yeah, well, it'll have to scoot up a little bit to put a street in.
you know.
So what you're saying is TxDOT, to get your permit, they're telling you that you need to put a road there.
To be able to cut right there,
I
yes.
see.
I wonder what the reasoning is on that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Try to pull traffic off.
They're saying it's safer.
Wait,
for
is
people
it
to
a
go
road?
Further down and then turn around rather than people trying to shoot in their studies.
But they're thinking they're gonna divert a bunch, so they use the loop versus that, there won't be as much traffic on it, one will be the train. I thought I would know. That makes sense, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I like
Well,
it.
their deal with safety,
Mhm.
going out here, turning around, and then easing in versus shooting straight across.
But you can have a breathtaking waiting to turn around over here.
Yeah, no doubt. It's definitely gonna get worse too.
They're not gonna do that. Oh, well.
You would think, Cindy, you'd be able to just do like a decel lane, like at the Civic Center, from there, I mean,
Yeah, that was a quarter of a mil, wasn't it?
Is that how much that was?
I believe
Because
so.
we had to put a deceleration lane here according to the text
I
as
believe
well.
that's what it was out there.
Wow.
It shouldn't have been, it's not that big.
I know, it's not that.
I don't like that job.
You probably had to have 10 inches of base and, you know, really heavy duty.
That's good.
I don't think we can really do anything till we know what.
Well, he's just here to make,
Yeah.
show you what
This is
they,
exciting though.
this is
Yeah.
just a concept right
You're very
now.
good for Floresville.
yeah, I think at this point, we're just looking at
Yeah.
the annexation part. I think
Yeah.
everything else that goes with it, like with TxDOT and any kind of decel.
When it gets too close, yeah, let's
Yeah,
get further
that's,
into
yeah, that's
it.
more, you know, that right now we're looking at just voluntary annexation.
He just wants to show you how big his store is gonna be, and it looks like the pine, this looks really nice.
It is nice, it's beautiful.
I mean, gosh.
All this outside is aluminum
Mhm.
clad. It's gonna be a very,
It's
very nice
really
store.
nice, and you're gonna have a bigger
Shop.
service area too, so,
Yep.
I mean, we need that.
I think they'll have 3, 4 days now.
There's really more than that, but it looks a lot smaller, they're real close together.
You have an idea when you want to start and what you think completion would be?
I need to start in 6 to 8 weeks. That's pushing things.
Wow.
I really need to get going. Part of that equation is General Motors. I'm not sure how much you know about what happened with General Motors and the store there, but they shut it down basically. They took away the franchise.
Right.
Okay, so part of the agreement to get the franchise back was to build a new facility. And I was supposed to do that in 1 year. Now it's been 2 years. So,
Okay.
and so they came down and visited me the other day. So, you know, it took a while to save up enough money to do anything. So,
I think that's great.
That's very
Good
good
project.
for sure.
Well, not only that, you're gonna bring jobs in, that's tremendous right
And
there.
traffic.
Do you have a dollar figure on your total investment?
uh,
Or is that
Looking at-
scary to think about
yes,
it?
what I budgeted, and I'm hoping to come in under budget, is $3 million. And that includes Polaris. They're telling me, because of the materials that have to go into this, you know, $115, $125 a foot. So it's gonna be very tight. And then, you know, when things coming up, I didn't know, when we got the land, we were told the water was just, you know, right there in front of the property, on the property. Well, it's across the street.
Okay.
So you have to pour.
So the school district was misinformed, which I should have checked, but I didn't.
But the deceleration lane.
And that too, yeah. And that- It's gonna be a tight
Middle
budget.
of the road, yeah.
So we, at this point, what we're probably gonna do is figure out, annexing, voluntary annexation.
Yep.
And, plating, to do the plating as well. with the volunteer annexation, we're gonna start working on that.
Plating,
Well, when you have a raw piece of property like this,
Mhm.
you will need to, just like McCoy's did, have it platted out.
we're doing that right now.
Yeah, perfect.
They should be done, they were supposed to be done already, so they should be done this week.
Just a quick question, any idea on the ETA of completion for the entire facility?
It's supposed to be done this year, so I'm gonna say December, but.
I know when we talked to Andy and Cindy initially, the whole, I mean, as far as the benefit for the city, you know, pretty much is the tax base. I mean, the growth is there, you know, what Walmart is at, and I got McCoy's coming in. So, I mean, your growth is there, you know, heading out, you know, north of Walmart. So, I mean, as a city, you want to capture every bit of tax base that you can there, especially when you've had that tax base already within the city. And then number two, because you can control the growth. But once it's in your city limits, and you control what happens from there out, you know, if it's outside the city limits, it's not annexed in, and then you lose control of that growth, because that, you know, it goes to the county, and then, you know, any future.
There's lots of potential for growth here,
No, sure.
especially once we bring in some fill there.
And then from a, you know, the sales tax will double, because you know the size of the parts department we have here and the service department we have here, so I mean, that's gonna double, and, you know, more service, more parts being sold out there with the Polaris, I mean, that's gonna draw a whole new crowd. You know, as Mr. Price said, you're no longer gonna have that small pavilion here, you're gonna have, you know, a large building that'll be able to, you know, get some of your enthusiasts that drive, you know, through here as it is, you know, going to the cycle range. You know, they probably don't stop by, because it's a blink of an eye and they miss it. But now that you've got a big, you know, facility like this, I mean, you'll be able to, you know,
Right.
cater to some, you know, some of that market on there, so I mean, that's gonna increase sales tax, and then just, you know, be an all-around win.
We've got a picture having, cruise-ins, things like that, having a band out there on the weekend, on Saturday, you know, have cruise-in, people
Mixers.
show off their cars, you know, having, yeah, you know, promoting Floresville, really, and us.
Oh, I think it's wonderful.
I know the chamber's been looking for a spot like that, right, as far as the whole.
And wait to write the headline, Richardson's unveils new multi-million-dollar facilities.
That's good, I'm excited, this is what we need.
The school district is gonna build,
Bus barn.
make it a bus barn.
Do their maintenance.
That deal is definitely done, because that's ridiculous.
What gets them out of the flood
I
zone.
know, but the prime retail position, you should build a shopping center there.
I agree.
You know, school buses.
Well, it'd be difficult, because there's a lot, from when the school district built their last school, over there, that's back behind it, they didn't build it so they could pull the water. So that would be pretty difficult to do anything with retail there.
Yeah, because y'all flood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rains.
They're doing
on
it.
us.
So they can deal with it.
We'll do it. That's excellent.
Any other questions?
No, it's just, you know, I don't think you'll get any delays from us, so. Just,
We just appreciate any kind of help you can do.
nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Nice to
On
meet you.
board. Nice to meet you. Lori? Teddy.
Oh, Teddy.
Done.
Nice to meet you. Cindy, good to see you again. Thank you.
See you.
We met one time.
Yes, we did. Yeah, president of the chamber as well.
Thank you very much.
Good, Steve.
Very good.
We're excited.
Very good to see you.
Ready to move on.
Yeah.
Just ran into a few more obstacles than we.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
Good seeing you. Take care. All right.
Good luck.
Is this
Good luck. See you, John.
a knoll and a house or something? Who's,
Steve,
Oh,
Steve, have you noticed,
who's just south of the property? Out of curiosity.
right next to the
Can I
property?
get your name again, over here?
Johnny, you have them?
That's north. Who's right here south of them? Is that Henderson? Jack Henderson?
Yes, or the stables of horses and that? is the
Yeah.
south- Yeah.
And
We
then
got
there's the
Denmark.
taxidermy, then Denmark,
Yeah, the
Is that where
Denmark
we're at?
taxidermy and.
Exactly.
and
Yes.
Hill.
Hills for the-
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the cows across the street.
Over here. Yeah, that big plastic cows right here.
Yes.
Sizzler.
Yeah, Sizzler cow.
Okay, JL's.
Y'all's new sign. This ain't no bull, that's present.
Nice to meet y'all, thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll tell you what I. Oh, wow.
Yeah, You don't take that.
That's pretty good.
It's gonna be nice.
As long as we can afford it, it's trying to work.
When y'all are bored, go read how the school did this right.
Well,
Read how one.
Try the school name.
well, retail,
Get with one.
the infrastructure's challenge I see is because it's a half a mile. But being that it's retail and not like housing, it's not so bad.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, because it's retail.
wouldn't limit the flushes.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna pick up some more stuff on the way.
Mhm.
Well, and it'll be there to tie in.
But if we have to pay for the street going through there, and we've also got the question, if we have the annexation up to that level, do we have a commitment to TxDOT on the
That's the
highway?
thing. I do know this, though, I'm gonna tell you this, if you don't mind. I do know that I've gotten calls with people on that side of the road that wanna be annexed in.
Yeah.
So, that's a good
That's a good thing,
sign.
yeah. Anything that increases the tax
Yeah,
base.
they told me, we wanna come in, we want your services, and I'm like, all right, I'll vote it down, so,
We wanna be commercial.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, moving on to new business, current action to approve the final plat of the McCoy's subdivision
I
at
have
181 North.
Copies of the final plat that they sent to my office. You can, if you want to share, or. Can you want to look at this? And we have Phil Hutchinson here from McCoy's.
For what good it is.
Yes.
Are the engineers are the only ones that
I
can answer
know.
any questions? Yeah.
But let me tell y'all, with that, what he's saying with the engineers and stuff, y'all, I sent y'all an email verifying that our engineer, pretty much stamped his blessing on it, back and forth with their engineers. So, and the pad site, they're working on it, they got their building permits on it right now. They're getting ready to start on the infrastructure. I don't know if they're gonna start with the water or us first.
Well, I know they were up there working on the water today.
Okay.
They got into town about 5:30 and
Okay.
they were just,
Yeah.
they're boring under 301, is that what it's
Yes,
called right there?
yes.
Okay, so right now they're digging the bore
Yeah.
pits, and so they're bringing that water
Yeah,
line.
he told me, because we're gonna be conducting inspections on those. I told him, when you start doing that, we need to start inspecting that. So,
Yeah. So hopefully they won't delay too much on the sewer right behind that.
yeah,
But the TxDOT is probably the biggest holdup right now because they're saying, they've got their big, long process and they have to approve the driveway permit, which is what they call it, right there where the new Wilson Drive will tie into 181 at that crossover. So TxDOT has to bless all
Does
that.
it go back to 301?
Yeah, and it actually changes, the name changes, I think, to 130 as it goes behind the property, because it leads
Yeah.
to
That's right.
District 3 or Precinct 3 into Precinct 1, but, so
That
that's.
messes up GPS.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. That's crazy.
This road in the back, isn't it like split county city?
No, it's all county.
It's all county?
Mhm. It's all county.
No, the city isn't anywhere near.
Mhm.
Will be.
If you go back the other way toward Walmart, the Walmart, behind
Mhm.
it, you have some city amenities over there.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it stops, Ropers is the last thing in the city.
Yeah. But they pretty much have everything, they're moving right along. They got the final plat, and like I said, I sent y'all the email on what our engineer response was, so it was good.
Who's happy?
He's happy, and if he's happy,
I'm happy.
exactly, because he's very meticulous.
Well, y'all have them do a de-acceleration lane?
Yes, both ways.
Yeah.
So on the south end of 181, they're for people turning left into the property,
You
there'll
got
be a
it.
deceleration lane. And then
Acceleration.
northbound, there'll be a little, decel lane, stacking lane for people to get out of 181 and then turn right onto Wilson Drive.
Amazing they don't have one, that turnaround for the hospital.
I know.
Well,
You would,
I see the ambulance,
that's crazy, right? That just delays more.
Seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
Future seconds.
Text dot is
Life and death.
tougher and tougher.
With the traffic count, having to wait there, you ever
Mhm.
work there?
Mhm.
So provided this gets approved tonight, will it go before
It'll-
Friday's special
how-
meeting?
No. It'll go for next week's meeting.
Next week's meeting? Okay.
And how it works with final plans, it goes to city council for approval, and we will not record it until all the infrastructure stuff.
Okay.
Just a question that has no very educational purposes, where we have an idea of this other stuff. Deceleration lanes, what do you predict they're gonna cost?
I was thinking about that when he was throwing out that $250,000 figure, but I know we're not anywhere near that. I think,
I thought that was extremely
yeah.
expensive.
The figure that sticks in my head for some reason is $60,000.
It's more realistic.
But I'm really bad at misremembering figures, and those things change a lot too.
You wouldn't miss that many zeros.
As a budget number, it was definitely not 250,000, that would have stuck in my head.
Yeah.
But it's in that $60,000
That's why it
range.
stuck in mine.
Yeah,
I thought
because
that's what they had said at the event center.
That seemed really expensive.
Well, there's a lot of things
There
that
are
can
a
go
lot of
into
numbers
it.
flying around.
If they had to relocate utilities underneath that, which they wouldn't let you pave on top of a sewer line or a water line. So if they had to move them out of there or signal, a lot of times if there's signal boxes or anything else, that can run your price way up.
But there's there's nothing there, so.
That's the thing that,
Yeah,
there's
then
nothing there.
That's
There's nothing here.
I'd have to look at that a little closer to go, why is it 250,000?
Well, actually, he had the water on his side,
Yeah,
so that's one good thing on them.
Oh, we had to bring that Oak Hills water from all the way up
Oh, you
past
still
that
have
house.
to bring it in.
oh, that's
Mavericks.
what,
Well, there's a
the
3
blue
inch,
pipe.
yeah, there's a 3 inch water line there, but, the code requires you have sprinklers, fire protection sprinklers.
Yeah.
So we're having to bring a 16-inch line. You know that little house that has those oak trees real close to the road? Well, anyway, they have to bore underneath that, under those oak trees, and then they can trench.
Wow.
And then they have to bore under 301, and then they have to bore under the creek. So it's a very expensive project. Bringing the waters.
How much of that cost is McCoy's bearing?
Well, we had to pay for an 8-inch line.
Yeah.
And Oak Hills has said, well, we require it to be 16, but they'll pay for the upsize. And that's the one where I think, I didn't bring the numbers with me, but I think it's 250,000 is the price to bring water.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there's that $250,000.
it's ended up being a very expensive project.
How many acres are gonna wind up being in the drainage flood issue in the middle?
It should say on the plat.
I didn't see it. Did I see it 7.6, is that it?
Yeah, that's gonna be the lot that goes to the city. Now, this is not in it is in the 100-year floodplain, but not the floodway. So you should be able to do things like ball fields here. And then there's an area out of the 100-year floodplain. So if you wanted to do improvements, bathrooms and stuff like that, you can do that here, and then ball fields down here.
But everything in here is part of the 7.6, correct?
Yes, sir. This thing right here.
And then where would you place the creek at, just
We're creeking in here.
right here?
Yeah, this-
Actually, this is platted to the middle of the creek, so these pins are set on the high bank or, to be out of the water, but the creek generally would meander through here
Is it
like
a,
this.
So this will be the north side of the
No,
creek.
it's not.
This will be the north side of the creek, this
Well, it has
one.
water there.
This will be the north side. And then
But this line is the north side.
We basically bought to the sort of center line of the creek. You can't follow right along the center line because you can't go out there and set pins in there. But that was kind of the term of the agreement, is we're buying the center line. So they'll own, the Whitman's, sorry, will own
they
this.
still own both
They'll still own
sides?
this side over here, so they'll have a corner lot that they can sell. There's a creek that comes in this way, but this is perfectly good for you know, CVS or what have you, and then a larger shopping center. There they got about 11 acres remaining over there.
They're still living there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where their home sites, what about Granite?
Right up against.
Right there. you
Yeah, it's
see it.
right here.
Yeah, you see it, it's right there.
They got that.
And
Yours,
then-
how many acres here?
It's not quite 11, it's 10 plus remaining.
In here?
And I don't know what the net, what the gross acres.
41.
They're not gonna be able to use but about 2 acres out of it,
Because of
because
the-
there's a lot of floodplain. They might could get something if they need to do back here. But you got that creek coming in, so there's something here usable, then it becomes floodplain,
Mhm.
and then back here, maybe something out of floodplain.
And where that question is going is what the city's gonna be left with after the last glass of water. Because we're not gonna sell too often, we get all this more flooded.
Well, if you think about it, Ray, I mean, right now, it's been like that for how many years? Just,
Since the
Yeah.
Indians, I
and
think.
we could still put cows in there,
Mm-hmm.
so,
Jewels. Get more.
there you go.
Well, it's pretty, you know, we left as many trees as we could. It's a-
Y'all doing a great
It's a
job.
nice little amenity, if people are using it as a park, for them to go down to the water. There's a big gar in there, I've seen it, that water stays in there.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Teddy right now, there's water there.
Don't tell much over them, over with students.
Get the bar,
Oh,
yeah.
goodness. Oh, no.
Cool. May want them over there, get cars.
But, you know, if we get the Parks Foundation really hitting off and stuff, and, you know.
We could use the land, for
It'd
sure.
be nice, because, you know, I hate to say it, it takes money to make a nice park,
Sure.
So,
and to keep it.
that can
We
make
could
sense.
move
Yes.
stuff out of Lodi Park.
There you go.
No one uses it.
Come on, Eagle
That's true, that too. And then I remember, Phil, that when Bill was here the last time presenting the preliminary, I think this out here,
Yeah.
a Chili's.
You like chilies, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to talk to Marcelo Lejas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's listing it for us. We're trying to get every penny of all our cost overruns out of that lot. So
There you go.
it's on the market for $625,000, so if you know anybody, market for that. And he's saying that's not out of line. He's saying that there's,
Just under 2 acres?
You talking about this one? There's 1.9?
Yeah.
2.97.
They're planning that out, that piece.
We're at,
The price for our place, our office may not be out of line.
well, this was, I forget what we're at, $6 and something a foot.
6 and a quarter or something like this.
This is at, this sold for $7 a foot, so we're under that. But they're right in front of Walmart. So we've got sewer and water, there's no retention. We're handling all of the detention of this, right here. We over-detain for this in our pond here, so that these guys can release right into the creek, and they've got an easement to get their water.
You said this was the $7 more?
Yeah, or, Hibbett Sports, I guess is gonna be.
Mhm. That isn't all, isn't that something else coming in there too?
No, it's
Maybe
not
liquor
there.
store, there goes liquor and,
I thought it was Western Matters.
What's
21.
booze?
Yeah.
It was 21.
Route 21 is a little clothing, I believe.
yeah.
What's that?
It's a clothing store.
Teenager clothing
Are
store.
we 21's going that?
Mhm.
Okay, that's what we got.
Yeah, because they got the permits, so. The only permit I don't have is the Western Beverage. I got it with it.
Mr. Members may own vehicles.
They may,
Maybe,
that would make sense,
yeah,
or vice versa.
there we go. They're in there somewhere. Well, y'all are doing a good job. Glad to have you in town.
Thank you. We're glad to be here.
It's on the fence. She had 100 workers today.
Beg your pardon?
Looked like 100 workers there today.
Well, they're getting ready to pour concrete, you know that.
Yeah.
And I was impressed, they had all that steel tied,
And rebar done.
they're ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're glad to see the driveway, right?
Beg your pardon?
You're glad to see the driveway, they're right.
Yeah, oh yeah,
You're not praying for rain?
yeah. That's a new construction company for us, that Embry is
Yeah.
building.
Oh, okay.
And they built Taylor, and they did a good job up there, and they got it done ahead of schedule. And they want to do more of them, because we're looking for land in Dayton and Coppers Cove, and they want to stay there, so they will go fast.
Are they from Austin?
They're out of Georgetown,
Oh.
yeah. Real good guys.
One for Jerry.
That's good.
Yeah, really.
Well, do we have a proposal?
Do you accept the McCoy's plan as is, or what do we need to do to practice it?
Yeah, because again, if you approve it tonight, it still goes through final approval with city council next week in their regular meeting. And then once it gets approved by city council, we don't record it until all the infrastructure's done. And then they'll get a copy, and then we send copies to, of course, it gets recorded with the courthouse, and then everybody gets a copy, 911, Phelps, everybody.
So you want a motion to approve it, subject to the final plan? Is it? I make a motion to approve the McCoy's subdivision project as said here tonight until we receive the final plan.
Motion by Jim, seconded.
Motion by Ray.
Sorry, Ray. I'm sorry. I can't talk tonight. Okay. Motion by Ray, seconded by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
You all right?
Yeah.
You want some?
You need some water?
No, they gave me this little pill to take for this congestion I've got.
Oh.
Maybe we should have taken it for later.
It's okay, sir, we'll keep you in mind.
Too bad.
Thank you,
All
thank
right.
you for coming to Floresville.
You bet. We're glad to be here.
Help let us know.
Sure register
Pleasure.
for a free Polaris.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm excited. I saw a lot of, there's a track that we kind of looked at that's south of La Quinta that's in the city, and I see a bunch of stakes out there as if something's going to happen there.
Oh, we do.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is that a secret, or are you allowed to
No,
say
no, no, it's a mobile home park.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, it'd be better if it was a nice
Yeah,
business,
well,
but you get what you
it's a
can.
sore subject.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you got that Holiday Inn Express is standing still.
Yes, no, they're moving along too.
Yeah.
They're moving along. So.
Well, the steel is standing.
Oh, I saw that, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So,
yes.
and then new Chevy dealer, so that's good.
It is.
A lot of stuff happening.
Very promising.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Philip, good to see you.
Good night.
Be sure you put all these positive things on the front page, because
He's listening.
we need to help our image.
Yeah, he's a little.
I believe you had a motion in a second, but I don't think we voted on it.
Oh,
So,
nice.
all in
We
favor?
We did.
We did.
You did? I missed
It's that
first
bill.
one.
Yeah, there you go again.
Okay. I hope we did, because I approved it.
We did.
We'll take one of those again. Phew.
What'd they give you?
I don't know.
You're not playing pool tonight. are you?
Yes.
Oh.
That's gonna be fun. Okay, the last item on the agenda is just a discussion item. And this is more of a, I want to make it absolutely certain, this is not a Lou Rosenberg bashing.
No, they don't.
It is,
No.
I'm very appreciative of what he's done, he does an excellent job. Our responsibility is to make sure that we spend the city's taxpayers' money as carefully as we can. And I don't know the procedure, and I'm going to ask some questions of Cindy on this, on when the bill comes in from Mr. Rosenberg, and it has some P&Z items on there, do you get to see that and to approve it, or does it just go to accounting and get paid?
It just goes to accounting.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of these invoices before.
I would think that was something that we all think about, because like running any business, you want to make sure that, wait a minute, that's not ours, that goes to city secretary, or something like that. So, having a procedure that you would sign off on,
What's the hourly rate, you know, Cindy?
I have no idea, sir.
under the rate, yeah.
180, 190. Let me ask you this. Can we change the procedure, or is that something that the city controls?
Well, because it's financial, it ultimately gets approved by the city manager.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So we can make a recommendation to the
So,
city manager.
if you need to speak to legal, just, you talk to the city manager for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, no, what I'm saying is, can we change their process, because we're not involved in the
Mhm.
billing and everything. I mean, we could do as much as do a PO system, which would be
True.
too involved, and I don't think that's necessary.
True.
But I think since we're getting quote-unquote charged with this,
Mhm.
I think we should have a system installed, and I think we should have a review.
Okay.
Because I noticed in here, my name is in there, and,
I notice there's lots of people's names in
Yeah.
there, and this was gonna be my next question. Who is authorized to contact the city attorney and ask him questions for which he is going to bill us?
Ultimately, it's the city manager,
Right?
okay? Even myself, I cannot call him unless I get permission from the city manager.
Okay, so
So, but
if I called him and asked him a question, he wouldn't be able to bill us for it.
that I wouldn't know.
what he,
I wouldn't bet it.
I would
Yeah,
bill
I
him.
because-
wouldn't know, to be totally
I
honest with
saw
you.
billing in here for me, and I didn't get any permission.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and my question too, and I should ask finance department on this, the comptroller, is when I get calls from them, because I do get calls from legal, does that initiate a cost as well? You know what I'm saying?
If they're talking at our message,
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, so is that information that they're needing from me, so.
Yeah, it seems a little willy-nilly, but,
I don't
I
think,
don't know if we can structure it somehow.
Well, I think the main thing is, I mean, number one, I don't want to stifle use of legal when it's necessary.
No.
I'm in healthcare, and I know risk management is a
Right.
big issue, so we can take care of that. But having some kind of process in place, or what do we want to do to make sure that we can reconcile at the end of some billing period? Okay, we've been billed this many dollars for these many events. Did we really do these things?
Well, with that, you'd almost have to have implement a PO system.
Well, which is what you mean.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Don't like it? Yeah.
Well, I think it's the best way to handle it, but it's also gonna be labor intensive also, putting more on Cindy or someone.
Well, I know that with engineers, I do initial off the services we get from them and the fees that they charge us for. I know with engineers and our building inspections also. They send me the invoices, they send the checks, and I go by and check to see, okay, I collected money for this is good, I initial off. Legal, I don't do that, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why legal, I don't do it.
Would you want to do that? It's the second.
I tell you what I've thought about doing, it for myself, just for my peace of mind, I've thought about getting a notebook or setting something up on the computer saying on this day, received call, on this day, place call, and for what, and for how long. I know that's a lot more work that I need to
Yeah.
do, but it seems like that might be what we have to do at this point.
I want to make sure that if the P and Z, if we use $20,000+ this year, that it's all right. I don't see that.
Well, we don't-
Concerning matters pertaining to the engine braking ordinance as a P and Z cost. So in other words, if that invoice comes across my desk, I'm gonna go, do not pay, it's not mine. It doesn't need to go in the P and Z's budget.
Yeah.
That isn't happening right now, and I don't know how we make that happen, but I'd like to. And put another job on Cindy, because you don't have to do
Well,
that.
there aren't we're not individual invoices, it's like monthly with a summary.
Yeah, if you get a summary, you can just go down and sign it at the bottom and say, yes, we did all this, it's okay to pay. I don't think any of these fees are unreasonable, I just want to make sure they're charged for the right amount.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Charge the right account.
And also, should we only invite Lou to our meetings? I mean, that takes up
That was
2
gonna be
hours sometimes.
one of the other questions is, when
Yeah.
it comes to that meeting, do we ask him to come? Or does he just show up? And if so, is he billing us if he just shows up?
See, that I don't know,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess a meeting with Andy Johnson would be
Yeah.
in order to try and find out.
Determine where our arrangement is with Luke, or his phone.
Well, Andy's gonna be in this meeting tomorrow morning, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
And we can,
yes.
a meeting with Stuart Planning,
Oh, I didn't know about that.
well, it's just an initial meeting to get
Oh,
kicked off and
okay.
give him his check, I guess.
Yes.
To when? Is it in
Tomorrow morning, Stuart, that's gonna do our,
Growth plan?
Development, design, and-
Right there. Initial kickoff meeting to get it going,
oh, okay.
and then from there, they'll send a series of meetings, which we'll all be involved in, and the public and the city. And get drawn out long.
And really too, Philip, planning and development, planning and zoning, that's required legal. quite a
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, no,
We just
like I said,
wanna-
So, out of all the segments that was brought out in the council meeting about all the cost of everything, we would probably be the one with the most, but should it have been that much? That's a good question.
But I mean,
I would like at the next meeting of the council, when
We were
if you were to say,
tempted.
I've reviewed every bill that comes into this building, and I'm happy that we paid them 20,000, because that's what we spent. It's like running a business. you
But
know.
I don't think, which I did, and I don't think I should have, called Lou and asked him something. And then Chris might call and ask him the same thing.
Well,
And
the
then
thing
Ray
is,
call, so we need to have, like, hey Philip, when you talk to Lou, would you ask him this? And he might even be able to answer.
well, I know that the engineer,